significant anomaly has been detected by onboard sensors. This unit has cross-checked all data points and verified the findings. Horizon Point Station has reappeared. Providing intellectual validation to this unit's queue. Priority low, based on energy readings. Horizon Point has been reconstituted by the Protectorate's large-scale rift modulator, thus confirming the Archive's theory. While present data does not indicate if Horizon Point poses an immediate threat, a survey of the reconstituted station is advised as soon as possible. Calculating. According to the Archive, closing all rifts requires locating the Protectorate's large-scale rift modulator and inputting the rift data processed by the Archive. However, before navigating to Horizon Point Station, it is recommended you conclude all other affairs. Leaving will be highly unlikely due to the high levels of rift energy. That is a correct assessment, Commander. Transitioning to Good News Protocol. As this unit was corroborating data on the anomaly, a message was also received from your allies, Commander. Auntie's Choice and the Order have sent word that their forces will be prepared to render you assistance once you navigate to Horizon Point. Commanders are expected to lead their teams by example. Well done on meeting base expectations, Commander. Briefing complete. Now returning to situation monitoring and data analysis, Commander.
Think we should make for Fairfield for the grafting lab. These 2 parts I got, I'm keen to investigate. Maybe one could be a match for me. Any advantage could help us at this point. And maybe I can bend the doc's ear for a moment or two. If anyone can help me make sense of what happened with Rasmussen, it's her. I need answers. So how about it? Thank you, Commander. I apologize for having us run about like this, but I just ain't been feeling right since the lab. Like there's an itch just beneath the skin. I'm just hoping something will put me right again.
We're about to rendezvous with the Rift. Return is possible, but not probable. And I still have unfinished business. Just in case you'd forgotten, dear. Our odds of survival would improve a full 4.7% if I wasn't distracted by other concerns. That's just a mathematical fact. May the plan favor us against long odds.
Commander, we still have yet to find the Supreme Arbiter's murderer. If we do not do so before proceeding to Horizon Point, they may forever escape my justice. Excellent. I hope we shall set off at our earliest convenience.
The story of Anti-Cleo versus the Moon Man is a ballad for our ages. A bit of legend.
We've successfully co-opted yet another of our rivals. Can't believe those eggheads accepted the deal. What's next on my agenda?
That outside contractor is here. You requested a brief tete-a-tete.
Ah, there you are. Our fresh-faced new go-getter. We meet in the flesh at last. You've proved quite useful. Keep it up. You'll be going places. You don't seem much put off by my appearance. Good. I have no stomach for those with no stomach regarding me having no stomach. It is, however, something of a brand secret reserved for only the most trusted confidants. And covered in detail buried within the confidentiality clause you agreed to on arrival. I trust this presents no concerns for you, yes?
Well, ain't meaning no disrespect. It's just everyone was saying that you were focused on a product launch or avoiding assassination attempts. That's why you weren't seen in public.
Poor dear, believing that erroneous drivel. You do know I have a reputation to maintain. I can't let every rung leech know my condition and open the door for plotting. I ask again, do you have any problems with the previously mentioned stipulations? Fortunately, when you're the head of an advanced medical technology corporation, you become first in line for any experimental life-preserving procedures. As far as what happened, I was the victim of an unfortunate industrial accident shortly after we arrived here, the details of which are less salient than the details of what comes next.
Ah, such wit. But moving on, we have a mission for you so vital to Auntie's Choice's survival that it should have been undertaken days, or even years, before now.
We've uncovered an opportunity to procure me a new, audaciously improved replacement body. There was a past proposal to utilize graphs, but, once I saw what happened to those misfortunates in the experiment, like your hanger-on here, the idea was promptly abandoned.
Wait, are you saying that the grafting program was only started up to help you with your condition? And was shuttered because it couldn't?
Yes, keep up, dear. You think we would have invested money in such a risky procedure for gains on the battlefield? Well, that's what bombs are for.
That means your scientists lied to us, and our suffering didn't mean anything at all. Is that right? Me and mine were just lab sprats to you this whole time?
This is what you signed up for. Tell me, did you also believe that we came here to solely liberate Arcadia and not for its resources? Oh, you did. How sad. The body I want isn't just some simple yet stylistically sutured together amalgamation of corpses to bolt my head atop.
Not, this time, at any rate.
No, to find me the perfect body, you'll be assailing an inappreciably populated automated automech factory over on Praetor. Not just any automechanical, something much, much more exciting. That facility was designed to build complex automechs, a natural choice when the Protectorate began experimenting with a proxy body for the original Sovereign. It was the last in a long line of his ill-fated life extension experiments. Work halted when he died, and the torso prosthesis they developed has been locked in the lab ever since. Make it mine.
Bolster defenses to protect key assets. Some of the order-derived direction can be downright oblique, but this is clear. Anti is our most key asset.
Admit I'm finally beginning to come around to that computronic little plan. Perhaps there is something to having the archive advise on market strategy and positioning.
Yes, I've begun to draw the same conclusion. Appears it can be a useful tool in the right hands. In any case, next steps. There's a sub-facility beneath the automech factory. Its entrance, being hidden, is easy to miss. But we can show you how to find it.
Well then, fetch me my new body and we can finally begin bringing this system to heel.
Figures that after all our time avoiding rifts, our next mission has us heading right toward one. I know the clock is likely ticking on whatever is going on with the rift, but I wanted to remind you that Ortiz made a request of me. I'm real keen on following through. I'll accept a maybe at this point. It's just, before we go set off into the unknown, I'd like to close the chapter on this part of my life, whatever it may look like. Anyhow, suppose I've taken up enough of your time.
Away to Central Control forthwith.
The corporate stooges and the Order were good for only one thing, laying waste to one another. Now they are allies? I'm disturbed by the implications of this alliance. But the Protectorate will yet prevail. Mark my words.
hostile ahead. What's the plan?
Three thinkers!
Susceptible to danger.
Don't need to give us some space.
I'm seeing unfriendly soldiers.
The Protectorate endures! Moving to cover!
Turn this up, Brian. Ready to waste. On your...
Appreciate a little help, Commander.
Tossed up on
Double laser potion.
You get the claw.
travel dislocation at the same.
They covet our due.
Sensibly, I must reload.
Corrosive substance penetrating engineering.
Yeah.
What do you want to wager there's something in there for Val we can use?
Yeah.
Looks like a fight.
Got my left on an unfortunate.
Corrosive substance penetrating engineering.
Where to go?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night.
Subjects, a security breach has been detected. A full laboratory lockdown is now in effect. Repeat, this is a full laboratory lockdown. Stay calm, remain vigilant, and obey security personnel. And always trust that the Sovereign protects.
Knew a few arc welders back on Triangle who killed for something like that. Lower the rate of deaths on the job for sure.
Commander, medics order. Attention subjects. The laboratory lockdown has been lifted, and your faith in the Sovereign has been reaffirmed. You may resume normal activities.
we worship bits, but because of the system's glorious efficacy. While the protect side what its subjects get, we respond to what you want through your decisions as consumers. What's more, we skip the frivolously lengthy approval process our own consumers employ.
Soon I'll be able to leave. You're back! Finally! Finally! Do you have it? Did you bring it here? Splendid. Oh, splendid! We'll ensure your reward matches the ample amount of faith I've placed in you. Nay, exceeds it. No additional hidden clauses. Honest. Oh, let me see it. Yes, indeed. Oh, let me look at you, gorgeous. If you'll all just excuse me a moment as I slip into something more formidable.
There you are. Congratulations. Now your body's almost as intimidating as your mind. You've narrowed the gap quite a bit.
Oh, Auntie, you look amazing. Absolutely everyone will want a new mech body after watching you strut the walk.
What about you? What do you think? Any first impressions you'd like to share? The perfect understated threat to drive all my negotiations to their proper conclusion. What's more, it's an undeniable confirmation that the Archive-derived strategic plan can be reliably executed and produces incredible results. With their predictive abilities refining our planning and execution, our market dominance is a foregone conclusion. Yes, so much to do, and we have you to thank for making it happen. I am quite looking forward to you working for me further.
Think the cult's signaling that we ain't welcome here. But I ain't too keen on heeding signs.
Architect's balls! That was some fine killing! Would have preferred you'd left one or two of those traitorous miscreants for me to sharpen my blade on, but no matter. Serves me right trying to help those sorely lacking in the gray matter. But they rightly paid for their transgression. Betraying someone sent by the exalted leader of the glorious dawn herself warrants a painful death. Name's Azza. You are? We are simply a group of enlightened individuals seeking to spread the truth of the rifts, despite our persecution by those who seek to keep the masses aimless and distraught. The rifts only seem destructive because we are looking at them from the point of view of imperfect, mortal bodies. To be deconstructed by a rift is to be reborn in perfection. None whatsoever. All I know is that they were planning on killing me by filling my room with Serenium gas. I was here to help them scavenge for old order technology to further investigate the wonder of the rifts. The rifts are a device of the architect to hasten humankind's perfection. They reduce whatever comes into contact with them to mathematically perfect information. We are nothing but that information, but we cannot see that because we exist in a chaotic and disordered reality. The universe is decaying, and our efforts to manage it are futile. The rifts are a perfectly ordered phase of existence. No chaos, no striving, no suffering. Peace and unity with the architect themselves.
No, it does not. Perhaps I will tell you what does, should I ever count you among my few compatriots. There is one other thing. I have similar business at the N-ray range. These fools were only part of the contingent that betrayed me. I aim to see them pay the same price, though maybe with more disemboweling. Your violent tendencies could be of great help to me there, as I'm sure mine could be of service to you. If you deign to take me on, of course. I see. Well, that is disappointing. I wanted to look into their eyes as they died. I'm, admittedly at a loss here. It seems to me I remain in your debt. You could still take me on. I'm all geared up with nowhere to direct my violent retribution. Nothing that will live to regret. But it seems like you've already a full contingent with you.
Really, Commander? You're swapping me out for her? All right. When you need someone you can actually trust, you know where to find me.
No offense, but I'd like to check out your handiwork at the N-ray range firsthand as soon as we're able. Just need to confirm you turned all the traitors into corpses.
Not yet! Hold on!
Impressive killing, Commander. Wish I'd been here to partake. I'm not seeing their hierarch Ziegler out here. I'll go take a quick look inside and verify you got him. They're all dead, but their treasonous scum of a hierarch Ziegler isn't with them. I did find one of our communication devices, though. Seems like he took a small group of acolytes with him to study a rift on Paradise Island. Idiot didn't even have enough respect to stay to kill me himself. Well, it's of no consequence. Now that I know where he is, let's go show him the error of his ways.
I'm not going to deny killing these traitors was invigorating, but their leader still needs to be dealt with. That I'm really going to enjoy.
Another rift. Rather not get up close and personal like this.
Why are you still alive? There's been some ghastly mistake. We must speak on the latest revelation before you compound it by killing me. You're obviously unaware that you've been officially marked for death. Otherwise, you'd have killed yourself and saved us all the trouble. It's unfortunate I was unable to inform you of this before you killed so many loyal members of the Dawn. But so be it. Glad we were able to clarify all of that. Well?
I'm thinking I'd normally just kill this idiot where he stands, but I must know what in the architect's name he's going on about. Ziegler, what's got into your brain pan? You used to be a dedicated member of the Dawn. How could you think there was a legitimate kill order on me?
You were revealed as a betrayer through the sanctified channel. How can you disobey a revelation from on high, when you yourself exhorted us constantly to never do such?
You make a compelling point. But then again, so does my knife. Let me introduce you to it. Why the fuck not? You're such the jester, Commander. You actually had me going there for a minute. Now, where were we? Oh, that's right. It's time to stick Ziegler here like a cysty pig on a spit.
Trouble ahead.
I can't believe what Hierarch Ziegler was saying. How could there be an official kill order out on me? The poor fools probably thought they were just fulfilling their duty. If only it were that simple. It should be impossible for someone to infiltrate our communication systems, especially when it comes to a high-level communique. Unless they somehow have our codes. This could only mean that one of our members has been compromised. Of course not. What a ridiculous question. You think that I'm like you, but I'm no longer bound by social restraints or pedestrian things like regret. So were I even to imply I felt remorse, that I wish I'd perhaps approached this with a more logical bent and not slaughtered these loyal Dawn members, it would mean nothing. That's the question, isn't it? The only answer I can think of involves our communication devices. There is someone who would have tried to contact me to warn me. Someone who wouldn't have been taken in by a faked kill order. Yes, but he's not like most of the fools we've been contending with. You know, I really should have seen the flaw in recruiting suggestible slackwits to our cause. But Severin is different. I knew him from before. Long before the Glorious Dawn. We had a secret code we used to hide things from our parents before... Well, never mind that. Anyway, if he used that code to embed a message to me within a Dawn missive, no one would have even known it was there. It's strange there isn't a comm device here. Ziegler must have communicated with his cell in Golden Ridge before coming to this place. Well, no matter, we'll find one. That cell you cleared out in Newton might have one of our devices. Hopefully, it will bring me that much closer to whoever it is I need to kill to put an end to this nonsense.
You want freedom of choice. You want Auntie's choice.
I'm trying not to fret about these rifts so much. Maybe they ain't so often.
I'm mulling over the best protectorate defected. You know, a fellow
Ah, Inez. Have you come back for a tune-up? I've got just the injection for that. Freezes those pesky muscles right back into place.
No, yeah, a tune-up sounds good. I actually brought a few other grafting parts with me, if you reckon my arm can handle a stitch or two.
Oh, these are pristine indeed. Is this of an ursopod? My, I haven't seen one of those in many years. Oh, and a mantis swarm hive? The hunting must be good wherever you ran off to.
Yeah, you could say that. Since Doc's given her blessing, which do you reckon I go with? The ursopod's mucus gland could absorb some incoming damage, if you don't mind getting a little sticky. The mantis swarm hive, however, would be best for crowd control. Say the word, and I'll sick these little guys on any enemy in our vicinity. I'm intrigued by either option, really. Hive it is. Just refrain from any buzzing jokes.
Oh, the mantis swarm is a wonderful choice. Hold still, dear. There. I dare say you won't be needing any tune-ups in the near future, but I do trust you'll find an excuse to come by for the occasional visit. By the by, where did you find these parts? What is it, dear? You look, well, a bit like you've been stung by a terror ray. I've got ointment for that too, you know.
There's a grafting lab way out on Cloister that was still operational. Till recently. I found it, Doc. And... Law. I ain't seen any horrors like that.
Still operating? Inez, do you feel all right? The program was shut down more than 6 months ago. Any further funding would be in direct violation of Auntie's orders.
I know what I saw. They were brutalizing folk and creatures. Paying them no mind, giving them no honor, even if they succumb to the process. The doctor there, he killed a friend of mine. And you're telling me you knew nothing of it?
Inez, I swear I didn't. That sounds... Oh, Sovereign's mercy, that sounds precisely like what I would protest with every breath.
The creatures they were experimenting on broke out of their cages, killed most of the staff. But you know what's worse? Keeping a dead soldier's body on display. Like a thing. I found the doctor in charge, still alive. We spoke briefly, and I allowed him to live. On the condition that he redeems himself and uses his research for good.
But this ain't the extent of it, I fear. I need to find out who's responsible for all the...
Oh, Inez, I know you do. But with the program officially shuttered, it would be awfully difficult to ascertain which individual has the pockets to fund such a... Wait. Yes, that does shed light on a correspondence I received recently. A vice president sent a message asking for my presence and scientific expertise to discuss a unique opportunity. I found the secrecy odd at the time, but I do suppose it lines up with your discovery.
Ain't surprising. What's his name? Where can we find him?
His name is Willard Conan, VP of Experimental Operations. The very man who was in charge of the grafting program at its inception. He's... Oh, I know that look. If you mean to do something, I beg you.
I just mean to have a little chat. I will be asking Willard to reform the grafting program. You heard from Dr. Rasmussen, right? I spared him and his research for this purpose. If there's good to be had from the program, then Willard needs to invest in that good. And you're my first choice to lead the new program.
You honor me. I did receive a message from a Rasmussen, yes. He is on his way with research to hand over to me. But... it would bring purpose back into my work. All of Fairfield knows as well as I that I've been craving it for some time. And if it helps folk like Inez, I will help you. Vice President Conan's office is aboard the Undisputed Claim, the flagship of Auntie's choice. I do not know where exactly, as I've never been, but it's my understanding that you will need to present this calling card to gain entry. Inez, what you are doing is noble, and I wish you the greatest of successes.
Thank you, Doc. Now, you get those grafting tools ready, because I ain't intending to fail.
Auntie's Choice is the proud maker of Spacer's Charm, Zero-G.
Commander, I've been thinking. Can I bend your ear a moment? We got the intel we need, Commander. The undisputed claims our destination. If we find this Willard and convince him to use this grafting research for folks' betterment, well then, all this hurt we've seen will have counted for something. Been doing some thinking about what happened in the lab. I went there to kill that man for what he did to Ortiz, and instead, let him walk away with his research. Didn't realize till I saw the lab what a fool I was. All for thinking that company folk gave a damn about each other. Even so, I still reckon we got a real shot of making things better. Auntie's choice can't be trusted on their own with this research, that's clear. But if someone like me were to guide them, maybe they can be shaped into what I thought they were. If they could actually help folk like they claimed they would when they liberated Tau Ceti, it'd make life better for anyone. Elsewise, there'll only be more victims in their wake. Ain't just saying that, are you? Ortiz sent me a message because he knew I would take action, that I'd remedy the betrayal both of us faced. If he were here now, he'd understand, I think. Are you with me? Thanks, Commander. Maybe this is what folk mean by the architects setting things in motion. If I hadn't broken my contract, I wouldn't be here. Maybe proving myself was never the intention. Maybe this is what I was meant to do. Let's just see what Willard's got to say, all right?
Live, love, laugh, purchase, and consume with Auntie's Choice. As your peerless leader known for her unparalleled business acumen, I want to hear
Keep making us money, friend.
It's high time one of you scientist types responded to my calling cards. The position's been open for more than 2 days, and already productivity is tanked by 149.4%. You want the role, it's yours, but I'm not budging on those hourly rates.
Let me guess. You're backfilling Rasmussen's position? Or all the scientists who work with him on Cloister lying cold on the lab floor?
Both, obviously. Unless you mean to tell me a graft like yours can install itself. Now, do you want the job or not? We're burning starlight.
Sure. The flight over gave me time aplenty to polish my elevator pitch. Look, we found your lab on Cloister. A friend of mine who succumbed to his graft sent me there to put an end to your work. It was, well, it was damn troubling. But after speaking with your doc, I came to see that the program's got much potential. If we shift focus, reform our work, grafts could better the lives for all folk. Rasmussen's now with Doc Tinsley in Fairfield, and they're ready to restart this work if we can get your agreement. No more killing, much more progress. What do you say?
I see someone failed out of the anti-Cleo School of Persuasion. Why would I ever pursue something so dull as reform? How does it serve me?
Troopers are getting maimed in battle, and many civvies are getting sick from lack of food, clean water. Folk feel helpless. Grafts could treat all that. Some creatures can regrow limbs and safely consume tainted goods. If we give folk those same abilities, they won't have anything to fear. They can heal from all the wars done to them.
Ah, I see now. With grafts, our employees can get back to work faster and for longer hours. You might have led with that. It's brilliant. But there is one small fly in the soup. Who exactly are you to dictate to me what we should be doing? I did not even know your name before you stepped through this door.
When I joined up in Tau Ceti, I was promised that if I proved myself, demonstrated exceptionalism, the moment would come where I could make a pitch for my own future. I helped hunt down the fiend who destroyed our base on Golden Ridge, fought off countless Protectorate besides. So yeah, I'd say the moment I'm owed has arrived.
Fine. Perhaps there is an opportunity here to expand our user base. But we can only pursue such a thing if we secure the funding. I could approach my business partner to this end, but I will require proof that this little reformation of yours is a viable investment. As such, you need to prove that a grafted trooper can achieve what the average one cannot.
You say that as though you have something in mind.
I do. The commander of our fortified position on Praetor has been chomping at the bit for a show of force, to rally the troops in our market share, so to speak. He will have all the minute details, of course, but assisting him and demonstrating your prowess will give us the leverage we need. Is this one having a laugh? Of course it'll be dangerous. Were it not, we would have dragged some poor bottom-runger bastard in to get the job done by now. Law knows there's enough to choose from. This here is a golden cysty pig of an opportunity. One that will reap rewards far beyond the buying price, consistently, every time we are hungry for a victory. Ha! I knew you were a sly one. You'll receive payment, all right, after you return. And I'm certain it'll be no issue. What with our grafted star tearing through the battlefield, leaving blood and terror in her wake.
Grafted soldiers aren't animals. I should think an executive of your stature would have an understanding of such.
Of course I do. But you cut quite the imposing figure. We'd be fools not to play it up so folk acquire full understanding of your advantages. Much like a sprat cowering rightfully in the jaws of a raptidon does.
They only have that understanding if they also have sense. Most sprats don't. They wander happily to their deaths in search of the smallest, richest morsels.
Yes, well done keeping up. Do you accept the mission or don't you? I could tell you possessed a modicum of business sense. Head to Praetor. I'll send a reporter with camera drones to meet you there and debrief with our ground forces.
Hold on. You didn't say anything about this being filmed.
Heroism is nothing without exciting footage and a talking head to sell it to the masses. So do make sure you put on a good show. Off you go, then.
cannot be here. My contract stipulates that this lab door remains locked at all times. I am not to be disturbed. Ha! That's funny, considering the heaps of times I've been called such. Unofficially, it was also in my contract that I was never to refer to myself as a direct report of the Vice President. Which I am notably not doing right now. Is that so strange? The program I was hired for is highly confidential. I don't see why the Vice President wouldn't take such measures. Why, I cannot even speak to him directly. Though I presume he also possesses an aversion to the smell of formaldehyde. He goes pale and ducks into his office the moment he sees me.
Well, that ain't right. Neither his managerial manner nor your working conditions. But once we get this program reworked, you won't have to worry about this anymore.
Oh, no! No, I don't want change! I love my work. I love this place. The smell of copper, the texture of viscera. There's nothing like it.
So am I. My gut's roiling something fierce.
Why this art's beauty is lost on so many folk I'll never understand. Anyhow, I have much work to do. Please ensure the door is locked when you leave.
That reporter's gotta be nearby.
I'm Orland Crawford, the outsourced but never outmatched wartime correspondent for the ACS Undisputed Claim. You must be the grafted soldier, here to show us all what you can do.
Name's Inez, and yes, Willard Conan sent me to help you with some sort of... I don't know what exactly.
Now, let's not skip on introductions. Who is this you have with you?
Don't sell yourself short, Commander. You face consequences all the time.
Ah yes, the unlucky sort. The soldier and her hapless companion. It'll do.
Never seen a grafted trooper in action before, but I'm looking forward to watching you work. Your mission, trooper, is to capture the Protectorate blockade to the north. Their defenses are too great to face head-on, so you'll want to sneak in through the back entrance. We've obtained the entry codes through great effort.
My camera drones will be filming the action from above, so do put on a good show. Blow up a few things, and use Inez's abilities to demonstrate the might of Auntie's choice. Yes?
They've detained several of our scouts. I'd like to see them returned. If you deliver this weapons cache to them and free them, they might offer some aid in the fight.
This is quite the opportunity. Normally, a POW might be written off as shrinkage, an unfortunate, unavoidable loss. But their rescue will be worth far more in publicity.
So what? If I hadn't come along, you all would have left those troopers to rot.
Our motto is to leave no man behind, unless it breaches our contract and promises financial penalties, which this does. Now, take these codes for the back door and go.
Once you infiltrate the blockade, neutralize our foes, and open the gates, our remaining troops will move in to secure the blockade for ourselves. Any questions? The drilling crew near the chemical plant is working to punch a path through the mountains. You could use such a path, but for some reason, their job is taking longer than expected.
Or you could go through the automech production facility north of here. But that's where the scout who brought us the codes lost his life. So proceed with caution and a loaded gun.
Though I trust you may fare better than that poor sod did, I do look forward to seeing you take the fight to the Protectorate. It's about time Auntie gave him a good walloping. Ooh, and spare some time for me after you emerge victorious, won't you? What am I saying? Of course you will! Who wouldn't want to be interviewed for the wireless? Go on now!
Here we are, about to kick the proverbial mantisaur nest. Hope you're ready for your close-up. Recharging as fast as it can, Commander!
Craft back in business.
Trooper. Inez has expressed a desire to participate in this action.
Damn. Of course they got a bunker mech.
Unfriendly comfort. Either restore my life or avenge.
Refilling my weapon.
Your forest is cooked. Falling into a hole. Sensibly, I must reload. Finishing my fire. Through his beneficent.
Punishing my Quarry's found.
Our vigilance. Prudence dictates. That is a
Who needs to die?
here! Let's have a... Well, the blockade is certainly ours now, but that was hardly more impressive than any other raid in this law-forsaken colony. I'm afraid my drones didn't get what we needed them to.
That hasn't stopped you lot from spinning a story before. You said something about an interview earlier. Well, I'll answer your questions. You'll make me look good in return?
It's audio only, Trooper. And you're working with a true professional now. Let me work, huh? Relax. Be authentically you, though you'd be wise to throw in a tagline or two. Ready?
Well,
Great! Recording's already begun. I'm here, live at the scene with the fearsome grafted soldier Inez. It's a shame you cannot see this, dear listener, for it is impressive indeed. Inez, your destruction of those dastardly Protectorate troops was awe-inspiring. You must feel like the employee of the month, having brought such a decisive victory to Auntie's choice.
I'm just, doing my part. I joined up because I believed in our mission, to liberate Arcadia. Reckon my actions illustrate that more than anything I could ever say. I ain't sure what else to say. What does the audience want to hear exactly?
They want to hear sordid details, but not so sordid that it'll staunch their worst buying habits. Now focus and don't fret. We'll clean this up in post. Dear audience, the voice you just heard is that of the soldier's close associate and eyewitness to the battle and the marvelous carnage littering the land. You also freed some of our troopers from the Protectorate's fiendish grasp. One can only imagine the torture they suffered. Tell us about it. The rescue, in detail if you would.
Look, I did what anyone with an ounce of sense would do. Ain't gonna leave one of my own in such a state. And if I had it my way, I would have acted sooner. Yeah, that's exactly right. I plan on doing everything in my power to bring a swift end to this war, and keep as many civvies out of harm's way as possible.
A heartwarming sentiment, but not too swift an end to the war, I hope. It's good for business, as we all know. In any case, those soldiers can finally return to their postings again. Now, I have a question about your abilities, Inez. What sets a trooper like you apart from the rest?
These graphs make me stronger. Good in a bind. I know I'm a bit of a curiosity. Ain't too many of us left. But there is so much good we can do with grafting, if we try. I got a plan, see? To start the grafting program up again. The research is promising, and with the right backing, it could be a product that can better the lives of everyone.
A fascinating idea. I think we'd all sleep soundly if we knew more of you were running amok on our behalf. Before we wrap, have you anything else of note to tell our undoubtedly enraptured audience?
Oh, I got one. Ain't just a tested and true product that'll put you over the top. A graft like mine might also get you into orbit.
Ah, I see. A bit of cheeky product placement for zero-G whiskey. Very well done, you. And that's a wrap. You can go back to slouching or sneering or whatever else it is you do. Astonishingly well. Rest assured, our listeners will be glued to their radios for all the lurid details, and to hear more of my award-deserving reporting, naturally.
Well, that's a damn sight better than I was anticipating. Willard will have to make good on our deal now. Let's head back and speak with him.
You do that, and I will remain here, burdened by the drudgery of war. Farewell.
Love, laugh, purchase, and consume with Auntie's Choice.
Ah, so the conquering heroes have returned from the blockade. But perhaps heroes is too strong a term, considering the proof of your heroics is sorely lacking. The footage showing the taking of the blockade is near unusable. Oh, where are my manners? Commander, Inez, meet our new benefactor. This is the business partner I spoke to you about, and she has graciously agreed to fund our new venture.
Yes, we've met. Now, let's not get overly ahead of ourselves. Putting on a show is 40% of the battle. The remaining 60% is messaging.
Well, I'd say these two certainly made our correspondence job easier. Only Auntie herself could have done a finer job at providing sound bites.
Let's try not to exaggerate. It was a fine showing. Now, with her as the face of the brand, we might really have something.
Look, I know I ain't exactly the profile of a business partner, but I know medicine, and I know the potential of grafts more than anyone. You'll not find my experience anywhere.
Perhaps so, but unfortunately I can't be expected to simply take your word for it. You know how it is. Low-level workers have a certain flair for lying and grifting, whilst concurrently exaggerating all accomplishments and ills.
But we can trust your word as her current supervisor. What sort of performance review might you give this associate?
Thanks.
That's a reasonable endorsement. Wouldn't fit in the one-line write-in space for her quarterly appraisal, but I suppose you couldn't know.
So we have a deal then? I admit that the raid and the interview may not have gone as swimmingly as I would have liked, but there is something there.
Suppose I can make good on the funding after all. We'll see in time where this arrangement leaves us. In any case, good day.
So that's it. We're cleared to restart the grafting program, and you'll abide by my demands. No more senseless killing. No more hurting folk?
Of course not, unless said folk agree to it. Yes, we are at an agreement. Consider this a bonus for your efforts. When the time is right, I will reach out to you for further planning. You have been instrumental, soldier. Inez, well done indeed.
I'll settle for a moment of rest, Commander. Thanks.
I assume you're not here to admire the blood spatter.
Listen, I got great news. This program you're part of, it'll look mighty different from now on. I secured a deal with your boss, see? To make sure it serves all folk, for the better. Ain't entirely sure in what capacity yet, but we'll be colleagues soon. We're going to make the world a better place.
That's something, I suppose. So long as I can still dissect things and experiment with organic matter?
Right. Of course, job security would be at the top of your concerns. Yes, you'll still be able to do all of that, but ethically.
I don't know what that means. But if I'm not out of a job, that is a relief. It's more than work, you know. It's a passion. Doesn't bother me none, that's for certain. Will I be getting a raise? Is altruism some inner currency? If it's not, then no. I've no thoughts. Please lock the door behind you when you leave.
I'm damn glad we could get Auntie's Choice and the Order to make peace with one another. I was worried for a minute that Basar was gonna pass up a good deal. Reckon this news will give the Arcadians hope. Anyhow, was there something you needed, Commander? time for a chat, Commander?
Back. If you seek entry to my wares, you must engage me your sports card collection. Though you shall not prevail. Sporting! Let us do battle! That's an impressive number of cards, my friend, but not... Wait a moment. No, your cards. You have multiple that I do not. Your collection has defeated me! Though this defeat leaves the taste of dirt and blood in my mouth, I am not dishonorable. I present to you my other collected wares. I have no doubt they shall impress. I understand your impatience, but wait just a moment longer.
You're a doer. We need doers.
Greetings again. You may have defeated me last time, but I shall rise from the ashes someday. In the wake of my defeat, I've taken a brief break. I'm contemplating what I might collect next. I've heard sprats are rarely born with mutations like extra toes and acid vision. Battle sprats! Imagine the merchandising opportunities. Eat your heart out, Auntie Cleo. Behold!
engines, bombs, blunderbusses. We've got it all. You know.
Finally! Maybe now I can get to the truth of this kill order nonsense. I just need to check our comms device for a coded message from my old acquaintance, Severin. I knew it! He wants to help me find out who's behind this. I sent a reply telling him to meet me here on Cloister. It's not too far and should be safe.
I don't know you, but you, I do. It's good to see you, Asa. It's me, Severin. You know, I've never been to Cloister before. It's cold.
What is wrong with you? Boy, damn it! Did they mentally refresh you?
No, let's just say I'm well lubricated. You tried the new Prestige gin? It helps when you have to do something you really don't want to do. Yes, there are a bunch of sentinels in hiding. When I give the word, they're to execute both of you.
Not before I mentally refresh your brain pan with my knife.
I didn't want to do this. I guess I shouldn't have questioned the kill order so loudly. It was real. It came from the Exalted Leader herself. She summoned me, knew of the message I'd sent, said I'd ruined everything. To save myself, save the Dawn, I had to do this. I'm a coward. I didn't want to die. I'm sorry, Asa.
If not, we'll kill you before they can stop us. And you should count yourself lucky. If the commander hadn't been rubbing off on me, you'd not even have the choice.
But if I do what you're asking, they'll kill me.
What? Fine. I can't believe how weak traveling with you is making me. Do what you need to do. And then make yourself scarce.
Thank you. I really am sorry, Asa. Sentinels, target confirmed.
Enemy spotted.
The Exalted Leader sent Severin as bait. Not to mention betraying the Dawn to save her own life. What a coward. The unspeakable things I will do when I find her. Well, once I find her. The Exalted... No, I won't refer to her as such any longer. Dagmar continually moved around for safety. She always initiated contact with me. We do know that she was in league with the Sentinels, though. There's nothing of it but to get ourselves inside their headquarters on Praetor. We'll track her by accessing their comm system. Couldn't have said it better myself. Fortunately, we don't need to worry about hacking their systems. Because my parents were vigilant. I stole their access codes when I was younger, but never had the nerve or call to use them. Once we do, they'll become unusable, as they'll set off all sorts of alarms.
Malefactors, stay your execution.
Prudence dictates. Test value. Susceptible to danger.
You have my thanks and my hammer.
Dagmar didn't betray us to the Sentinels. She is a Sentinel, with a fucking office here in Central Control. It's enough to make one take leave of their sanity.
There? If you wish to feel better, try thinking of wanton murder.
I'm just going to pretend I didn't hear that. Fortunately, there's an easy solution to Dagmar's betrayal, one which involves removing her head from her body. Or maybe we should start with the disemboweling? So many choices.
I suppose congratulations are in order for having dispatched so many Sentinels. Can't rightly say I'm surprised, what with your knack for wanton violence. But still, impressive. And let's not forget that I was the one who gave Azahelia Leitinger a purpose and fulfillment. Look at how much fun you've had.
Oh, she's dead already. But I might make it quick if you have a good explanation for your betrayal.
Let's not be hasty. I mean, can it even be a betrayal if it was always lies? But I must say, when I started the Dawn at the Consul's behest, I knew you were the perfect candidate.
What are you talking about? There were cultists before me.
No, there were not. The fiction of a cult was born out of the need to convince the Sovereign to return to the true spirit of the Protectorate. The Consul feared he was too weak.
You... How dare you! You shall pay dearly for daring to speak thus, and the Consul shall pay triple.
Dagmar, all this can't be right. How can you spout such lies? Our cause is righteous. It has to be.
As much as I'd prefer to not anger you, I must say your willful ignorance is still a thing to behold. You were always so willing to accept even the most specious of arguments. I can only hope your luck has run its course and the remaining Sentinels are able to put you down. Your death would put me back in the Consul's good graces. Goodbye, Azza.
No, that's too quick. What about... No, not painful enough. Yes. Yes, that's it! I just need to find a piece of heat-conducting metal and something to peel the skin effectively. What, you suddenly take issue with my methods? I can think of no reason to curtail the pleasure of my revenge. Dagmar must die. Violently. Her betrayal warrants no other response. I know of no other way to act.
None shall stand against us!
Imbeciles! How did you let Azza get this far? Stop her! She means to assassinate me!
Form up! They're closing in!
Prosecuting!
Better sleep with your eyes open. Dagmar would never let herself be cornered. She's sure to have an escape route. We should find it.
Ah! You're still alive! Now, let's not be too hasty here. You seem a rational person. There must be something we can do to resolve this peacefully. Please don't let Azza get her hands on me.
Why are you talking to them, Dagmar? I'm the one you must answer to. Well, I'm waiting to hear your ineffectual arguments as to why you should be spared. And then I'll kill you. You can start by telling me why. Why'd you do it, and why me?
Why? I'm a loyal subject to the True Protectorate. What other reason is there? When the Consul tasked me to help save the colony, I did not even think to ask why. And you were an obvious choice. So lost, so dead inside. But then you went berserk. I never could have imagined how you'd take to the killing and mayhem. You brought me great praise from the Consul. Until you started asking questions and killing the wrong people.
Enough of this blathering on. It's well past time for Dagmar and her life to part ways. Feel free to think on that while I start in on her dissection.
No, let's start this.
She's dead. As am I. She should have suffered more for what she did. You know, for a moment there, I was questioning everything, but it quickly became obvious she was just lying to save herself. You're so naive. But don't feel bad. It took me until now to see through her subterfuge. No. The Glorious Dawn was always true. She was just using it for her own debased ends. Now that Dagmar is dead, I'll be leading the Dawn into the glorious future. There may be those that do not accept my leadership, but they will die. The Dawn is too important to disband. What little risk any of them may pose doesn't concern me. I can send out a general message from here, informing the cells that the previous Exalted Leader has betrayed us and has been dealt with, and that I am now in charge. I suspect some will simply jump into the closest rift. And to be perfectly candid, I'm hoping there are more than a few that refuse to acknowledge their new leader. Enough to keep my knife skills up at least. It's done. Let's leave this place. It sickens me.
I believe what we need is on that terminal. I'll see if I can find my way in. The terminal's locked, which is no surprise. See if you can find some method to bypass its passcode. Did you hear that? I think something may have unlocked. I think this may unlock the terminal, but the toggle mechanism appears compromised. I shall hold it. You attempt to gain access to the machine. You must...
Consul Thoreau, I'm sure you're surprised to be receiving this message, and thus I can assume you already know my intent. Even considering aligning myself against the Sovereign is like sticking my hand in boiling oil. Yet my dead charges spur me forward. 10 scores of Arcadia's finest, at least 10 scores, died in defense of Golden Ridge. And does the region lie in our control? No. We fled like sprats, all at Varric's behest. I shall lower myself to work with you, Consul. I will help you uphold your plan to... Hold... What in blazes? How long have you been standing there? What did you hear?
I cannot believe what I heard. I cannot. Yes, I'm fine, because I think I understand what was actually happening. My mentor hated the Consul and was deeply devoted to the Sovereign. She'd never speak thus, unless she was trying to lure the Consul into a trap.
That seems like a lot of work to go through just to flatten someone's head with one of those giant hammers.
What I'm proposing is eminently plausible. It may be beyond you to see her machinations, but it's obvious to me that this was merely an intricate play. It's all that makes sense. Don't Tristan me! Just because the situation looks dire doesn't mean... Wait, do you hear that?
Arbiter Rao, I finally got you.
Submit quietly to the Protectorate's justice for your manifold transgressions.
Are you insane? Who are you? And on whose authority do you claim to judge me?
My name is Junior Arbiter Mayhall, and I operate on Arbiter Mandate, as you did once. Now, no questions. This is already going to be difficult enough.
It's logical. The Sentinels have all but taken over central control. It stands to reason the few Arbiters still trained here would only be Sentinels in armored regalia.
I cannot deny that central control has changed, but... what am I saying? I need not defend myself from the likes of you.
Enough! This has been an unpleasant day and my patience is gone. Your accusations are baseless, and accosting a higher-ranked Arbiter is grounds for arbitration.
They're far from baseless. You stand accused of abandoning your post, of infiltrating Protectorate facilities with opaque aims, and of hampering the Protectorate war effort. There's no discussion to be had with criminals. I needed to see firsthand that Arbiter Rao had abandoned his station. He has, and must meet my judgment.
These accusations of yours are slander. If you believe false bravado shall save you from my wrath, you're sorely mistaken. At Oculus, and again at the Vox, you showed me that the law may be interpreted. Clemency can be granted where before it would be unthinkable. Here my sense of duty clamors to be answered. But as much as it surprises me to admit it, I think you're correct. To this recruit, I've diverged from the path of righteousness. Slaying her for sincerely trying to do what is right would be a farce of justice. I would not. But I know the reality of swaying an Arbiter from their chosen path. It's likely this situation may devolve into violence regardless.
What is this insanity? I would never imagine an Arbiter balking from their chosen course. I had hoped Arbiter Rao would come to his senses, but obviously to no avail. I may not wish to judge him. I may not understand what has come over him. It is of no consequence. His crimes against the Protectorate are all that matters.
The ex-Protectorate subject there had been mentally refreshed. Killing him would have accomplished nothing, despite his crimes, as he was merely a pawn to someone else.
That's even worse than I thought. You chose not to do your duty, and expect telling me so would soften my decision to judge you?
The Supreme Arbiter taught me to follow my own sense of justice. And I have. Use your mind. Think about what I did. What you intend to do. Is this moral? Is this right?
What of it? Someone has to stop him.
Ironic. You came here to judge me for much the same reason I have, as you so claim, deserted. I chose to investigate the Supreme Arbiter's death on my own. You chose to investigate my departure on your own. You seek to judge me for the very crime you are guilty of.
That's impossible. I refuse to believe we both could be guilty if we were simply following what we were taught. There's no protocol for following one's heart in the Protectorate. I still do not know what to do, but perhaps that is the point. Consider my hand stayed. I can see that judging Tristan would only rob the Protectorate of another of its servants. It seems I must reflect on this matter.
It would appear we're in agreement. Neither of us shall raise a hand against the other. I'm pleased.
Ever known an Arbiter to lose their taste for blood? That's disappointing.
So, what course of action do we take now?
It's important for an Arbiter to use their forebrain. Next time you encounter something as strange as a loyal Arbiter diverging from the path of righteousness, investigate. You may find more questions than answers. But deciphering them and interpreting justice as best we can is how we might serve Arcadia.
Uphold justice in my way. I'll attempt to remember that, Arbiter Rao. Thank you.
Glory to the Protectorate, Junior Arbiter. Make me proud. I'm pleased we were able to resolve that altercation peaceably. Robbing Arcadia of an enthusiastic recruit would have given me little joy.
You say that, but I've seen the way you smile when you kill... Oh, sorry, dispense justice. I'd say she got lucky. Or you're turning soft.
You know, I'd even venture to say she reminded me just a little of myself as a lad. All this excitement did not make me forget the confession on the Supreme Arbiter's terminal. I have to bring it to Virgil. Together, we can discover exactly what transpired. Have you lived all your life within the Protectorate? No. What do you know about what makes an Arbiter? I refuse to question the Supreme Arbiter, just as I refuse to cast every belief I hold dear into the mud. Push me no more. Virgil will know what to make of this. Together we'll figure out what to do. I'll message him when we return to the ship. Hopefully he shall respond. Quickly.
believe Arcadia shall ever return to hopelessness? The paradigm is a self-centered derivative.
Oh, I didn't expect us to wander into the scene of a murder, but somehow I'm not entirely surprised. Anomalous events have a way of spreading, multiplying. We should find a way inside. There might be clues to what happened, and where Anais's research is now. They should have been sealed in that room to focus on their studies uninterrupted. No one in or out. I'd suspect the missing anchorite knows something, at least. We should ask her. Might be some signs in there of where she went. The terminal at Winter's Grasp said Anais' work was sent here. There might be signs of that, or where the missing anchorite got off to. I've had a chance to look around. You seem like you've done a thorough sweep. We should discuss what we've uncovered. Poor thing. Blunt force trauma to the occipital lobe, I believe. Possible signs of an altercation. Might have been an accident. Might not have been. Hard to say with just a superficial glance. At the very least, her cloistermate Anchor's Brunn has some explaining to do. A disputation of current order methodology focuses mainly on our presiding bishop, but saves ample room for the Laureate Council and previous regime as well. I believe I got the gist by efficiently skimming. The general concern is that the order has lost its way. My old department is repeatedly mentioned in a favorable light. Anais' work is regarded highly. I saw that. I believe it was Anchoress Chow's diary. Spoke about regular visits by an exemplar Southworth who requested access to Anais' work. Chow seemed worried they were conspiring about something, that they'd mentioned an old order research station. I don't know what happened to Anchoress Chow, but leaving a body behind is suspicious, and the disputation reads like a call to arms for any fringe thinkers in the order. That old research facility seems the most likely spot to look next. I know the coordinates on Eden, placed by the name of Point Obviation. There's no destroying the copies at this point, I'm afraid. We're past that. The research is out there. We need a way to keep anyone from taking it up further in the future. If we go in guns blazing from here, it will only continue. We need a plan to annihilate the idea. This is the exact sort of work we did at the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection. Diverting problematic events. We learned how to best respond once things begin to spread. We developed tactics at the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection to minimize unforeseeable consequences. We can discuss once we see the situation on the ground. Yes, time to seek out Anchorus Brunn.
Halt! Abide! Cease any and all manner of perambulation. Don't know who you all are, but unexpected guests are categorically unwelcome here. How'd you even find this place? Maybe I should just shoot you and glean details from your logs.
Ah, Exemplar, if I may. Surely you recognize such a notable member of our cohort, Marisol Delgado. The Endpoint?
I can't recall if I ended whoever came up with that name. Surely hope so.
You were head causality intercessor of the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection, right up till the end, correct?
More or less.
Well, what a fortuitous alignment of low probability events this is. Our efforts here are based on your former department. You should confer with Anchorus Brunn straight away.
We actually sought to find you and others of your program, Intercessor Delgado. A serendipitous event, you arriving. Assuming you'll vouchsafe for your colleagues, you may all proceed. You'll find Wilhelmina up the lift, 4th floor.
Welcome to Point Obviation.
Anchorus Brunn is continuing Anais' research from Winter's Grass. I'm sure of it. Best play along for now, until we can ascertain the best course of action.
This locale has greater security and alertness than most Order strongholds. We best be wary.
Look, everyone! It's the Endpoint. Come to join us, I take it.
I do have a unique interest in what you all are doing here.
I am a longtime vocal exponent of your work, Intercessor Delgado. I hope you don't mind me saying. Go on up. You're expected.
knew the Order had its own facilities. But this... where did they find the resources? What else have they done without our ken?
Oh, who's this? Oh, yes, I remember you. We met earlier at the site of my former seclusion. I've heard much of your exploits since. If I recall correctly, you helped prove Anchorus Chow's argument that violence is sometimes necessary. I admit I have modified my stance toward that more recently. I understand you allowed Seer Wiley to go free, yes? Once was a time I would have made that exact same decision. And as for you, I've been informed that you're Marisol Delgado. I've read your file. An impressive body of work, though often quite mortiferously inclined.
Less so over time. There were too many pesky repercussions, I came to find.
Yes, well, to what do we owe the pleasure? Are you familiar with our goals? Come to join up, perhaps, or should I say re-enlist? It was more of a disputation as a scholarly objection than a manifesto per se, but why quibble? Anchoress Chow is very much against it. Her accident was quite tragic. You saw the disputation, though. Tell me, what did you think? You read it, yes? A truly unfortunate accident. I had posted my disputation and stated my intention to leave. We argued heatedly. Objects were thrown. She stumbled and fell badly. We try to honor her loss. Such tragedy only underlines the importance of our endeavors here. Each day the equation remains unsolved. Countless more tragedies occur. We must succeed at the soonest possible haste. Surely you're aware of the myriad errors of our current presiding bishop and previous regime. One of whom shut down the division that operated here, the other squandered it. Our sect aims to end human suffering, sooner than later. We've taken great inspiration from your former department, from their methods and their science. To solve the universal equation in our lifetime requires bold action, clever calculation, and assiduous work. Yes, we have Grace, that is Exemplar Southworth, to thank for that. Her visits to the Anchorhold were quite thought-provoking, as was the research she showed me from Sia Bujold. Bujold's thinking was unconventional, ahead of her time. Why, in fact, she's here with us now today, overseeing an experiment that proves her researcher's theories.
Really? Seer Bujold is here, at present, in this facility? The one we're presently standing in?
Yes, we're so very pleased to have her. If you thought her work before was captivating, wait until you hear the experiment she's overseeing now. The intent is to represent the building blocks of the universe within a test chamber, then extrapolate data revealing the universal equation from the micro-universe that forms.
Sounds like it could change everything, one might say.
Why, you should go see for yourself. As former colleagues, I'm sure you'd like to reacquaint. Go on. I'll call down to let her know you're coming. Yes, she's monitoring the experiment. I'll have elevator access unlocked so you can join her. Do please stay in the observation area, though. The work is quite delicate. We'll speak further after you check over Sia Bujold's work and the experiment concludes. Oh, so exciting. much longer do you predict preparations will take?
Almost ready. Perfect timing for my former colleague to peer review my work. I'll head Intercessor Delgado. What an opportune time for you to appear. At the perfect moment to assist our experiment.
What in the endless void are you?
Shh. Comms off, but others are near. I need your aid before this ridiculous affair careens into disaster. Can I rely on you this time? Or will you already intend on scurrying away again? I came to derail this line of inquiry in such a discommodious way that no one would ever consider trying it again. For all the aforementioned reasons of it likely causing, or at least queuing up and leading to, the end of all things. You chose to leave me behind, again. So when they came calling, I thought it an opportunity to sort it all myself. Yet, admittedly, at this moment, I could use your assistance.
This shouldn't be your burden. It's on me.
You don't get to decide that, or adjudicate, or coolly comment in a steely growl. Not falling for that a 10th time. Help, or stay out of my way. The test involves 4 stations. Each represents one of the fundamental building blocks of the universe. Zeranium gas, macro-ivs, nucleons, N-rays. All the usual stuff. That test chamber is where all are meant to mix. To simulate a mini-universe I can apply my theories to, pull data from, and deduce the universal equation in a reduced time frame. We know what happens if that's successful, so I need you to muck with each station's settings, then initiate the experiment. All you need to do is adjust each station's settings slightly. Things will cascade from there. Remember, subtlety is required.
Yes, if we alter the experiment input data in a less than delicate fashion, Brun will notice, I assure you.
The guards on the 2nd floor won't appreciate visitors, so avoid getting spotted. Here's a maintenance key. Head down the vent. Only the fate of the galaxy riding on it, so perhaps try to be careful.
Stand ready. Our foes are close.
That was quite alarming.
Seems sufficiently scrambled. That'll do. That should do it. Imagine that'll do.
If you're done, evaluating my work and all settings are final, enter the terminal command to void the oxygen from the test chamber. The experiment will then begin.
Did it work? Did it work? See, was it a success? What happened?
Hold the applause just yet. I need to run the numbers. I'm sending the others back up to you. They can describe the proceedings in detail.
I shall await their arrival. Anchor's Brun out. That is how these messages end, yes? If not, farewell.
The results of the experiment will be a career-ending embarrassment for Anchoress Brun, but she won't accept this lightly. We'll need to do more.
Yes, our next steps here will be crucial. I know this type of mission well. Granted, my targets were always meticulously well-researched beforehand.
You'll need to convince her, destroy her logic, end this research for good. All it requires is a forceful array of incisive argumentation, logical reasoning, coercive persuasion, and cognitive contortioning.
You mean one of our old brain-off maneuvers? Really? That's what the rank and file in our old department used to call it. Provost Bolding considered it a casual moniker unbefitting of an order scientician.
Make Brun give up on science, logic, and reason entirely. Then no one will ever dare continue the research again. Between you and Marisol, it should be a light challenge. Easy.
A brain-off against an Order anchorite isn't entirely without risk. We could employ certain other methods to deal with her. From our former department's playbook.
Oh, yes, a book you wrote titled Making an Execution Look Like an Accident. Despite the moral quandary ideally involved, unseen consequences still abound.
That's hyperbolic at best. Data suggests significantly fewer unpredicted outcomes than outright murder, if properly executed. And I'm quite capable of skewing results in our favor.
And here I thought you'd begun to change.
I'm not arguing it's the best option, just that it is an option. Rightly or wrongly, I am familiar with the cost involved.
The Order of the Ascendant should be dedicated to uplifting humanity, not racking up a body count unduly. Our former department was shut down for things like this.
Dishonorable skullduggery better befits Auntie's choice than the Order. If we must end this experiment, killing is the most respectable option.
Seems reasonable. Appreciate you listening. Murder shouldn't be our first option here. Too many drawbacks, both mathematically and ethically.
Honestly, I'm relieved as well. I have been trying to be different. From the person others believe me to be.
From the legend? If you're retiring as the Endpoint, we'll need to find you a colorful new sobriquet. Oh, how about Executioner Emeritus?
This isn't by, Marisol the Menicious?
Oh, I like that one.
All right now, all right. We should go.
Typical argumentation may prove useless, and she'll likely see through most attempts at deception. Be clever, unpredictable, surprise her. But in the event you should fail, you'll need a viable backup plan, or it will erase any chance of success completely. The Anchorus is housed in a test chamber similar to this one. It's been refurbished with some rather tacky furniture, but much of the old experimental apparatus remains. There is a hatch near the elevator upstairs. An external ledge leads to a vent system that can connect the two chambers. Doing so will expose the Anchorus to a lethal atmosphere. I'll need to make an announcement afterward that an accident has occurred tied into the experiment.
For an extemporaneous plan, it's not a bad one. What if the Anchorus realizes what we're doing and calls for help?
I'll cut off her comms when she begins pleading. Oh, that sounds even more heartless when I say it out loud. Please choose wisely. Here's the hatch key in case you need it. May all your endeavors elicit expected results. And Marisol, do keep out of trouble.
There you are. You saw the experiment through to the end, yes? The data hasn't arrived yet, so please do tell. Was it as beautiful as I imagined? Any inklings to the result? Or perhaps I oughtn't to have recloistered myself till after the experiment concluded, hmm? Well, don't just stand there. Tell me everything. Some issues? You seem like softening the blow. Was there a malfunction? Was there some error in the calculations? Wait. Let's start from the beginning. Step me through your understanding of what's gone awry. Really? In what way? These are all fundamental building blocks of the universe. Together, they form the primordial soup our galaxy was formed from. This is widely recognized in scientific circles. This was just a start. Such models typically make an enormous amount of errors at first. All quite expected. An anticipated setback, nothing more. It simply needs to be revised and refined. You certainly seem to be making a lot out of this, though, one must say. I miss her skepticalness and insight. If we could agree on a topic, there could be little doubt in its logic and rectitude. Look, there may be some validity to some of your points, yes. But we'll improve. We will continue to stride forward. There's absolutely no need for all this doom and gloom. Oh, is one of you a seer now? Because I put considerable more stock in the prognostications of the Order's prime mathematicians than I do any old run-of-the-mill soothsayer. Now, is that all? Because I think I've had enough of all this. Everything we've done here is built off Seer Bujold's research, which is quite brilliant. That's both incorrect and rather mean. Ah, the experiment data just arrived in my terminal. Allow me to eyeball it a moment. Perhaps there's something here to help prove or disprove any of what you've been saying. There was some variance to the input data. Not far beyond acceptable parameters, but curious. Could explain the failure. Oh, come. One bad test wouldn't mean the science is completely flawed. I fear this was a waste of valuable time.
If I may, I have a point I'd like to add. There's a critical flaw in Seer Bujold's approach I think best illustrated by this English phrase. Time flies like an arrow. Fruit flies like a banana. I much appreciate this jest. Very simple, yet clever. Because in English, the word like can mean similar to or I prefer. And flies can be to soar, or plural of the insect. Through this perspective, it functions, makes sense, is humorous even. But in another language where words' meanings differ slightly, it does not. The framework we interpret the statement from changes, thus rendering it uninterpretable. False. Bujold's method of shortcutting the universal equation is much the same.
It lacks context. When you extrapolate the data from the mini-universe to the larger one, the information itself may scale correctly, but fail to interrelate. This has been a difficult conversation. Challenging, disputatious, at times compelling. Yet I remain unswayed.
We tried. Our fallback plan's our only option now. Head for the hatch.
What was that? You're starting to worry me. What do you intend to do? Ah, the experiment data just arrived. There was some variance to the input data. Not far beyond acceptable parameters, but curious. Could explain the failure. Oh! Ah, there was some variance to the... Oh, come. One...
to recognize that ventilation systems had been left connected to Test Chamber Alpha. As you know, it had been recently refurbished as an enclosure for Ankaris Brun. She gave her life for science. Well, it's true that we found the related research deeply flawed, but she gave her life for the pursuit of science. As the experiment was a colossal failure, I, as senior scientist remaining, have determined we must abandon this inquiry and shut down the program immediately. Oh, such a terrible shame. Farewell!
If that blockade had been staffed by staunch Protectorate defenders, we never would have been able to overcome it. Truly a sorry defense.
It defies belief you negotiated a partnership between Auntie's Choice and my colleagues. I've no faith in my predictions now. True, true. But that doesn't mean I have to like it. May the plan favor us against long odds.
I understand now why they say never meet your heroes, Intercessor Delgado. You've truly been an enormous disappointment. A key experiment fails and Ankaris Brun falls prey to an unfortunate accident right after you and your consort arrive. And we are all to believe these events are unrelated?
That's circumstantial and more than a mite bit paranoid. I expect better from an Order scientician. Even one from the Department of Applied Scientism.
Don't think I don't see your handprints all over this, Delgado. I don't care that you somehow roped in Bujold with that little performance. I'm not buying it. The Ankaris, poor trusting soul that she was, may have believed you were here in good faith. But I don't. You're looking more and more like enemies to me. Fascinating. You know, I reviewed that work myself, right? I'm well versed in manipulative prevarication from feckless mutineers. Try again. Or try facing a gauntlet of well-trained exemplars. I could always choose for you. Are you done? I know you're to blame. I just wanted to see how far you were gonna take this. I can't believe Ankaris Brun fell for any of it. Fellow exemplars of the Order, commence hostilities!
Adversary vulnerabilities identified.
Taking cover.
Fractional effort. Investigating disturbance. Balancing. Re-engaging. Multi-impact variable!
Unfriendly nearby.
Target analyzed. Lay down fire!
Prepare for absolution! On the authority of the Sovereign!
Mitigating the threat. Launch
I must yet regain my vigor.
deploying discombobulator.
Have a fix on their weaknesses. Weapon check your scopes for combatants. Reducing enemy effectiveness.
At your word, I shall try.
Patience. Still recharging.
My capacity at range is somewhat limited.
Mortificator at ready.
Your confidence lacks peer review.
Oh, look who it is. The legendary former head intercessor of the Order. Another mission successfully completed. Made it through all that without a scratch, hmm? Glad to see. Say, I know this was difficult and rather a mess, but you listened. You tried to do right before you did what you must. I appreciate it, the attempt. No matter how that may sound.
The credit or blame belongs to the commander here. It was their decision, ultimately.
You forget I know you. You always thought you knew better. No one could ever convince you of anything. Before, that is. Good to see. Maybe you are facing yourself.
There are a few things I'm still not used to saying. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Please. And thank you. But thank you, Anais.
At any rate, I'm off. You all take care now. Marisol, don't be too enigmatic or anything. Try. Before I forget. Meant to give you this earlier.
Oh, thank you, Anais. Goodbye. Oh, Brunn obviously murdered her. Thought you knew that. Perhaps it was an accident. Perhaps she simply wanted to knock Chow unconscious so she could sneak away. Or not. Indefinite immurement isn't for everyone. Even the finest minds may crack under the strain. But her canned, feigned concern about Chow, how she kept changing the subject, both belied an underlying sense of guilt to me. Oh, not really. Not yet, at any rate. Everything's a bit raw right now. But suppose I will be. Thank you, dear.
I hope that Bouchol has not softened your instinct. We've many battles yet to fight.
Commander, it's customary to evaluate results after a mission of reasonable significance. Would now be good? I've had some time to cogitate over what occurred at Point Obviation. Some parts don't sit right with me still. Wonder if you and I might talk it through. After this, perhaps. Humor me for a bit, and maybe I can clear my mind. You might believe Anchoress Brunn was a murderer, or potentially a herald to Cataclysm. Still, she was helpless, and we killed her. And yet, such actions were par for the course for me in the past. When my remorse for Brunn rears its head, it will need to get in line. Yes, Southworth was complicit, and now she's dead. I hope so, at least. According to Anais, we could have reduced the likelihood of that occurring by completing the brain off. It's not anywhere near zero, but it's unlikely. She seemed pleased that we at least attempted to address her concerns, so I've changed, apparently. Thanks to you. It's been a while since anyone gave me a good talking to like Anais did. And I'll admit your influence has been rather positive. I'm pleased with the path I'm on now. I didn't think this is what the plan had in store for me. I've been facing myself with the same zeal I face my enemies. With tidier results. Appreciate you taking the time to talk it over, Commander.
Willard, Vice President Conan, sent me a message just now about how the investment meeting went. Seems he showed off the footage from the blockade, interview and all, and they all agreed to fund the grafting program and start it up again in earnest. I think we actually pulled this off, Commander. They even thought to bring me into middle management for the program. Can you believe it? After you and I finish what we set out to do for Arcadia, of course. I'd say closing these rifts take priority over a career change. I'm realizing now that I never really imagined something like this was possible after ending my contract like that. Never thought I'd be at the forefront of a military campaign. Never thought I'd be able to change much about Auntie's choice, let alone that I'd want to. But here I am. Reckon you could say I proved myself after all. Thank you, Commander, for everything. Anyhow, that's enough sorting my thoughts for...
Commander, I have news. I finally heard back from Virgil. His message was suitably vague. I suspect he fears the consul's eyes scanning his message, but I believe it to refer to the Arbiter training facility located on Paradise Island. Parts of the location can only be accessed by Arbiters. He likely did so to avoid the consul's spies. There's a certain hominess to it, inasmuch as we have any particular home. Bringing our findings to Virgil will hopefully allow us to deduce something from all that we found. I only hope it dispels some of the muddiness we've encountered so far. Further complications would be most disagreeable. Too late.
Arbiter Nebs, the words are a song to my ears. This, no doubt, is the opportunity I have long awaited.
If
These
Virgil's
hapless
not
recruits
about,
arrived
he's
just
like to
before
be
the
in the
invasion.
training grounds deaths.
No sooner had they
There's a
set down
lift
their
that will
bags
take
than
us
the
lower,
instructors
located
were called
behind
to
the
the
door
warfront.
next to
I
the
read the
stairs.
fear, the uncertainty in their faces. And I knew, as this outpost's primary practice target replacement technician, I alone could teach them. They see me as their leader, their arbiter. I will not fail. Should the invasion breach our defenses, I will stand proudly at the vanguard, shoot to kill, and lead them to victory.
Tristan! It's a relief to see a friendly face. Do come up.
Virgil! Oh, thank the architect I found you intact. We visited the Supreme Arbiter's office in Central Control and found something impossible.
Impossible? Why is it impossible? So that you may claim ignorance as to the truth of what you've uncovered? Fine. If you're still so thick-skulled, Tristan, then I can see I've no choice but to confess. Hold. Do you hear movement?
Attention, Arbiter Virgil Montag. Under the jurisdiction of the Council, we stand to bring you low. Do not resist.
Damnation! I knew the Sentinels were looking for me, but I did not expect they would come to this place. We have no choice but to fight. I can operate our turrets from this location, but you must engage the Sentinels head-on to prevent our being overwhelmed. Go now!
Arbiter Montag, lay down your arms. Surrender and die.
None shall stand against us!
Those fools were but an expeditionary force. I've no doubt the bulk of their number remains on the surface. I shall take an alternate path to prepare a surprise for our would-be assailants. Then I shall flank them as you engage them.
Hold. You were beginning to say something before we were ambushed. I would care to hear it.
We cannot have this conversation until we are safe. Engage those on the surface and I shall join you. Go now.
Got a live one.
Weapon prime!
Virgil, enough! Our being at odds with the Council is one thing, but that was a small army! What have you done?
You already know whether you're willing to admit it or not. Do you sincerely have a need for me to spell it out before you'll face the truth? Very well then. Tristan, you stand before the murderer of the Supreme Arbiter.
I don't believe this. The Council must have captured you and sent you to mental refreshment. It's the only...
Open your eyes, Rao. Those Sentinels were here with due cause. The elimination of a murderer. The Supreme Arbiter was planning to send a message in her final moments, pledging allegiance to the Council. Who do you think bore witness to those final moments? Had I not been so overcome with emotion, I would have been thorough enough to delete that. It matters no longer.
No. You lied to me?
I had to. I knew that if you learned what had transpired, why I did what I did, it would destroy you.
Would it? Or were you just trying to save yourself from my wrath?
With the demands this war has made on us all, I've not seen our mentor for some time. My visit was meant to be a surprise. Unfortunately, it was. I overheard her decision to align herself with the Council before she realized I was there. This admission, I had no choice but to act.
But there was a choice. Why didn't you come to me? Together we could have come up with something. Some other course of action.
Because I didn't want you to know. I never wanted you to learn the truth because I feared you'd lose your faith. No. Sentinel Peralt's remarks were the first I'd heard of any secret room. I feared what you might learn there, so I scrambled to find an agent who might locate the room before you. I only had one contact who I knew may be able to do the job. Obviously, he did not succeed. I was pleased to learn that my decision did not result in his death, at the very least. That is news to me. A junior arbiter judging Tristan. I can't imagine you let that stand.
Killing one of Arcadia's future arbiters over a singular breach of rank would have been most tragic, but this is not the matter we're here to discuss. No. I can, if the situation was truly as he claims, understand his initial decision. Perhaps I even sympathize. Just a little. But playing false with me, that's another matter entirely, and the matter of justice remains. You're right. You're right. I can't let emotion get the better of me. This is not the first time we've encountered the paradoxical nature of Protectorate law. Each time we did, you convinced me to stay my hand, and I do not regret those I spared. Our prior conclusions inform my present feelings. I theoretically understand what Virgil did, for there was no proper decision he could make. But I cannot view this objectively. Virgil killed our mentor. It's madness. I cannot simply let that stand. Can I? My hesitation is more reflective of a weakness of character. One does not hesitate in the Protectorate. One acts. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. I don't know. He was right when he said the Consul would simply manipulate High Command. But the law is clear on this. It is explicitly illegal for an inferior to execute their superior. The issue must be accelerated to a higher authority. But is addressing traitorism not the utmost priority of any arbiter? Is not the betrayal of everything we stand for more significant than a breach of protocol? The Supreme Arbiter taught us that conscience has no bearing in our role. But I suppose she has given me much reason to question her teachings. I cannot bring myself to execute my sworn brother. It could be better if I did not. I cannot be sure this path does not fly in the face of all I believe, or speak to some weakness at the depths of my being. I know not what to make of the Supreme Arbiter's betrayal. I'll have to ruminate on it for some time. But that aside, I forgive you, Virgil. You are spared.
Oh, joy. They talked it out. And here I was all ready to watch two arbiters violently dismember each other.
I don't know what to say. I just wish there had been some other option. That's all well and good, but it shan't undo my actions, or bring anyone back. I must live with that. 1,000 words of thanks for meeting me here, Tristan. I know not what the future holds for us, but for the time being, I must make myself scarce. Though, before I go, a parting gift. May Tristan make use of it better than I.
Go with the Sovereign's blessing, brother. And be careful. If you survive today only to be brought low by an agent of the Consul at a later point, I shall be most annoyed. Commander, this has all been draining. I need time to process what we've learned today. What I've done. Later, I hope we might discuss it. Commander, I've had some time to process what transpired with Virgil. Despite the manner of what Virgil has done, I cannot help but be glad I did not need to slay him. I can only hope he does not run afoul of further Sentinels. I still have much doubt about my path, but I don't believe Protectorate law is as ironclad as I once thought. Having good intentions does not spare you. Doing what you think is right does not spare you. This cannot be justice. Yet what can I do? More than 100 years of Protectorate society cannot be changed by a lone body. Can it? But how? I see. I must follow my own path, my own sense of right and wrong. I can only hope it has been cultivated properly. I shall remain with the Protectorate, interpreting its laws through a moral instead of a punitive lens. Innocent until proven guilty is a novel concept, but it is worth a try. Words are not worth the air propelling them. Let me make good on them first. Then you may be impressed. When we began traveling together, I was not sure what to make of you. But your input throughout our time together has been invaluable. I deeply appreciate your hand in this investigation, Commander, and in entertaining my incertitude. Let us move forth to free Arcadia from injustice.